Making a positive impact in social gatherings. Okay, it's time to take things to a new level as far as your friendship networks. This is not just about starting out friendships in the first place or growing a friendship network. This has to do with not missing opportunities that you can actually create from scratch. One of the things about social gatherings that you'll see if you sort of plucked yourself out of them and had the bird's eye view, if you could look down from the ceiling on what's going on in any social gathering, you'll notice what I call social nodes. There are going to be two or three of the highest energy spots in the room, the highest energy people, the most positive people. By high energy, I don't mean the angriest, I mean the happiest, the most pleasant people, the most vigor, the most charisma. There'll usually be two or three of these social nodes in any given party or any given social gathering. And the way you want to play these are you want to be that. And if you can't immediately be that social node that everybody else clusters around, seeking good energy from, then at least join one and bond with the other people who are happy and high energy. Because if you're an outcast or an outlier way out in the distant areas of these social rings that occur, you're like the wallflower at a high school dance. Low power.
Right. The number one way to build rapport is through inclusion. Human beings, as mammals, we want to connect socially with other folks. And so if you ever observe a very charismatic guy, he may do some grandstanding a little bit in storytelling, but ultimately, in short order, he's including others in the conversation and in the dynamic to create a bit of a harmonious give and take. So one of the key ways is to have a genuine curiosity about others, what they do, what their story is, where they're from. So cultivating the ability to ask questions and then really listen to the responses is a very easy way in a social gathering to become one of these hubs or the center of one of these circles, is to get people engaged because you are legitimately interested in what their journey has been.
I like that. I think if you pair that up with not being a procrastinator, being the one to initiate and to do so quickly, do so immediately. A lot of people wait around for the right signs and signals that it's safe to approach, right? Or that a little bit of evidence that they will indeed be accepted to a social group. It's probably statistically better for you to dive right in to the high energy areas of positive emotion immediately, not waste any time.
So one clear way to do that is to, if you tend to be a shy kind of guy, next time you first of all say yes to invitations and social openings. There's plenty of stuff going on in most cities, even small towns, to get involved, whether that's a class you can take or a party to attend, a church function, anything like that. And put yourself in a situation and have kind of, if you need a little scorecard, say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to start 4 conversations tonight with different people, and I'm going to genuinely try and learn where this person's coming from, what their story is, why they're here tonight, what they are looking to get out of the evening. And no matter how awkward or hesitant a conversation starts, what I found, and this is through, as long as you have a genuine interest in what the other person has to say and who they are, most people will hear you out and be more than willing to engage. So set a number of folks you want to talk to, and really get into these social environments so you have a chance to flex that social muscle.
I love it. That's good. Making an impact is what we're talking about here. And, dovetailing on that, what I would suggest is that in making an impact, there's got to be something novel to our approach. There's got to be something different from the ordinary, right? So part of making an impact is going to have to involve willingness to be different.
Okay, right.
Even though you want to establish rapport by finding similarities and sameness, simultaneously, there's got to be like one little nugget, one little part of you that is absolutely different from what the group, has as a characteristic. So if you wear kind of unusual clothing, that'd be one obvious way.
Right.
Or in conversation, if you are willing to disagree once, you can't disagree on everything or the group will exclude you, but to disagree on just one point, you might make a point of purposely finding one thing to disagree with within a group.
And that's what makes it interesting, right?
It's impact.
It's
It's memorable. You're the guy who disagreed with such and such.
Yeah, I mean, the whole group standing around with consensus, and you come along with a different point of view. All of a sudden, people want to know, why does this guy believe this way? Why is he saying this? We want to know more. And so all of a sudden, you're part of the conversation. And now that the group has some circulation of ideas and discussion, and before you know it, you're in the midst of a 3 or 4 person little pod of activity, and you've become one of those highlights of the room.
It's like a 90-10 thing, 90%, 10% thing. There's got to be 90% similarity, right? Like you're of similar age, similar education, similar culture, whatever it may be. There's going to be like 90% similarity, but then there's got to be a 10% difference. So you can't come in and like destroy the whole social group and like
with bad energy and rain on their. No one wants that.
Right, exactly. But by having one point of difference with them, it makes you memorable and therefore impactful.
And it's even more interesting if you have a general overlap of similarity, and then on a particular issue, there's disparity because the group thinks, well, in so many ways, he thinks like we do, but yet he has an independent thought here. How is that possible? Because it seems like we're all coming from the same place. So it's just inherently intriguing to have a lot of shared similarity, but some outline opinions.
Yes, yes.
So the assignment there, to recap, is do not hesitate to get involved. By definition, a social activity or a social gathering involves more people than yourself. So it should be easy to locate plenty of functions or parties or charitable events in your community, and go out and just start conversations with an eye towards offering something fresh, intriguing, a new perspective, but also listening intently and really trying to search for who these people are that you're speaking with, a genuine interest to get to know others.
And I've got a little bit of a mind stretcher as an exercise. I want you to consider that in making a positive impact in social gatherings, what would be more valuable to a person? Would it be meeting one new guy who's a great guy, amazing guy, brings a lot to your life? Or would it be meeting an entire network of people through a guy? So your assignment, it's the latter. So your assignment is that you're going to go out and either a group that you already belong to, you're going to give a new potential friend an introduction to that group that you belong to, tell them about it, how cool it is, how they might fit in, and invite them to the next meeting, or give them a business card with the information about the group on it, invite them in. Or alternatively, you could plan on meeting 2 new people, and after establishing the beginnings of a friendship with one, then find a second person and introduce the second person to the first person that you just met.
And I'll give a little advanced scenario here. We've talked about joining social gatherings that are underway. If you really want to supercharge your social life, start hosting stuff. I mean, the guys who really do well, if we want to talk about meeting a lot of girls or meeting a lot of social context, there's nothing like throwing a party on your own terrain or organizing an event at an outside venue and whatever it is, a raffle function, any kind of activity, and organizing that. You'll all of a sudden, with some effort, you'll have 25, 50 people in your backyard or at the local community center. If you really want to get involved, you'll go from knowing a few people to 100 in the order of a month or two. So it's really up to yourself to envision how large of a social group you want to be a part of and making it happen.